At this point, you've installed Load Tester and are probably wondering what to do next. Here's a couple of quick tips to get you started. First, understand that Load Tester Lite, Pro, and Pro Demo are all integrated into one program. By default, it comes up in Pro Demo mode, which allows you to use any of the advanced Pro features but can only simulate up to 25 concurrent users. To generate a larger load, you'll need to get a free Lite license or purchase a Pro license. The first thing you'll want to do is create a repository by clicking on the New Repository button. Next, start to record your first test case by clicking on the red Record button and then selecting a browser. Finally, navigate to the site you want to test. For example, here I'm just browsing through the webperformance.com website and logging into our portal. Be sure to pause a second or two between each page, especially with Ajax apps, so that your pages are grouped properly. When you're finished recording, click on the black Stop button. The test case will show up in the Navigator tab, and a dialog will pop up showing every web server recorded in the test. A modern website can actually include calls to dozens of other sites, so you'll need to tell Load Tester which is the main site you want to test. Usually you don't want to generate load to analytics or advertising sites, so Load Tester makes it easy to filter those out of the test case. In this last step, Load Tester automatically configures sessions and state variables like viewState in .NET. Once a test case has been recorded and configured, the next thing you'd want to do is play it back with a single user so that you can make sure it works. You just click on this green play button and then watch the embedded browser. Once the replay is finished, you can view the original recording by clicking on the rewind button. Notice that the test case is marked Lite. So if you install a Lite license, you'll be able to generate up to 1 million concurrent users, all executing one or more Lite test cases for free. Once you use a Pro feature though, the test case type will turn to Pro, and from then on, the test case can only be used in load tests of 25 concurrent users or less, unless you purchase a Pro license. Now that we know the test case works, it's time for a load test. To configure a load test, just click on the Load Test button. For our first test, I've picked something small, 100 users. Because the number of users is over 25 though, when you start to run the test, you'll be prompted to apply for and automatically install a free Lite license. Rather than go through the Lite license install process right now though, I'm just going to back this down to 25 concurrent users, which doesn't require a license. To run a load test, click on the green Start button. The Load Engines tab shows all of the computers generating the load. By default, load is generated from the same computer as Load Tester, or you can add an Amazon EC2 Cloud account to generate load from outside your network. Once the test is over, the test results show up in the Navigator right below the load configuration. You double-click on the report to view it and then navigate to the various sections using this pull-down. At this point, we haven't yet configured any logins, so all of these simulated users would be logging into the same account. Parameterization is a Pro feature, which you can access by clicking on the field in the Fields view. From here, you can configure the test case so that each virtual user has a different username and a different password. Now that we've used a Pro feature though in this test case, it's been marked Pro and can only play back in Pro Demo mode, which means less than 25 concurrent users, or by purchasing a Pro license. Well, that should get you started. You can see all of the cool features in Pro highlighted in yellow on this compare page. If you have any other questions, please check out one of our other how-to videos or use the handy support request tool in the help menu to ask a question. Thanks for watching.